Have you ever had a dream that was so bizarre and out of this world that you woke up and thought, whoa, what on earth was that? Well, a couple months ago, I had a dream where I was being chased by a giant flying dog dressed up in a pumpkin costume. It was chasing me through the mall, and every store only sold freshly baked chocolate chip cookies. And it was actually a nightmare. It wasn't a dream because I'm petrified of dogs. So naturally, I woke up, I was panting, I was sweating, and I was scared. And I was also confused as to why all these random images were popping up in my dreams. But here's the real question. Why does our brain spin these surreal stories when we're asleep? Shouldn't it be resting when we do? Now, raise your hand if you've also had a similar experience to mine. Okay, that's a lot of people, right? So, turns out our brain doesn't sleep when we do, but rather it takes a night shift. Okay, all right. So what are dreams? Dreams mostly occur during our REM sleep state, which is the rapid eye movement state. A brain state where the mind is highly active, but the body is temporarily paralyzed. This paralysis is also known as REM matonia, which is carried out by the brainstem that prevents our body from moving when we're dreaming, so we don't act out our dreams. Neuroimaging studies show that there's a heightened activity in our limbic system, which particularly in the amygdala and the hippocampus, the areas highlighted in red, which are respondent for emotions and memory processing. This is why our dreams are highly emotional and based off of our past experiences. At the same time, our prefrontal cortex, which is the area in blue, is resting and at its lowest level. And it's most respondent for logic and decision making. So this imbalance between the active limbic system and the lowered prefrontal cortex result in a dream that relates to us but makes absolutely no sense. On a chemical level, acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter respondent for learning and neuroplasticity, is at its highest level, and serotonin and norepinephrine, which are also neurochemicals, are at its lowest levels. So taking into all these factors, we get our best dreams that make no sense, that have to do with our past experiences and are utterly irrational. So maybe you're having a dream where you're arguing with the dinosaur, sharing a piece of pizza, but in that moment it would make normal sense. And then once you wake up, you're on what happened there? So now close your eyes and imagine a big, bright purple monkey surfing on a giant wave at the beach. Okay, do we have our pictures? All right, you can open your eyes. You probably saw something like this, or maybe if you're more on the realistic side, you probably saw something like this. But you've never seen these images before, and these images don't exist in the real world. But your brain have this certain supercomputer within itself that it creates these images. This is the same supercomputer that's at work when you're dreaming. It's unfiltered and unstoppable. So we all know that not all dreams are all rainbows, unicorns, sunshine, and cupcakes, right? Some of them are petrifying, like my dog dream. These are also known as nightmares. Nightmares are our brain's way of processing fear, stress, and trauma. And they're most common in patients with anxiety and PTSD, but we all get them and we've all had them before. But maybe nightmares may serve a beneficial purpose. There's this theory called the threat simulation hypothesis, which states that maybe nightmares help us rehearse danger and gives us our worst case scenarios in our head so that we're more prepared to fight these dangers when we face them in the real world. And these nightmares may be nature's built-in training system for us so that we're not surprised when we see something new. Now here's where it gets exciting. Our dreams aren't just, we wake up, we see some random pictures, and we go on with our days. Oh no, we go to sleep, we see some random pictures, and we go on with our days. But instead, our dreams may actually transform our lives. Here are some notable epiphanies of where dreams transformed our lives and made the world a better place. In the 1800s, renewed chemist Auguste Kekule was struggling to understand the molecular structure of benzene. And then one day he went to sleep, he woke up, and he went to sleep and he had a dream about a snake biting its own tail. He woke up and realized that maybe that benzene could be in a ring structure. This changed modern chemistry forever. Paul McCartney, a famous musician, literally heard the melody of Yesterday in his dream. He woke up, rushed to the piano, and wrote it down. Now it's one of the most famous songs of all time. And Albert Einstein often described his theory of relativity as originating with the dream that he had when he was a little kid. He was sledding down a hill, and the lower and lower he got, the faster he got, until he reached the speed of light. So these dreams aren't just random pictures that pop up. Sometimes they solve problems and spark innovation for the next generation. We can also heal through our dreams. A neuroscientist, Matthew Walker, states that REM sleep also acts as an overnight therapy. So our dreams play painful memories over and over again, but lower the emotional magnitude to it, so that this can build a certain tolerance for whatever pain we're experiencing. And in this process, our pain reduces, which results in our mind relaxing while we rest. This is why yesterday's problems feel a lot more manageable today. And a lack of sleep or not sleeping the optimal amount makes us feel cranky, forgetful, and stressed. So, get your normal 7 to 9 hours of sleep and don't pull those all-nighters because they're not good for you. Okay, so I talked about what dreams were, what nightmares were, and compared the two. But I didn't answer the real question. What do dreams really mean, and why do they matter to us? So Sigmund Freud, a psychologist, states that dreams are the royal road to unconsciousness and that they revealed hidden personal desires. Carl Jung said that dreams connected us to a deeper shared wisdom amongst a certain group or certain community. And modern neuroscience often says that your dreams are just your brain making sense of random firing neurons that happen up here when you're asleep. But maybe the truth is somewhere in between. Dreams are both in the biological and in the unknown, and that they're just random sparks in our head that are shaped by our experiences, our fears, our hopes, and our environments. Over time, dreams have intrigued every culture and continent of the world. So the ancient Egyptians believed that dreams were the message from the gods. Indigenous peoples saw dreams as guiding visions, shaping the course of entire communities. And Aboriginal Australians saw that the dreams, or dream time as they called it, was a certain space where the physical world and the spiritual world overlapped. But no matter where we go, dreams are just windows to something greater than ourselves and something past our consciousness that we just can't understand at this moment. But we're still pushing dream science further than ever today. MIT's Dream Lab are working on technology to influence dreams during our REM sleep by introducing different sounds, smells, and other external cues. Imagine being able to, work on your dreams or control your dreams while you're asleep. Maybe you could be practicing a skill and be more productive, even though people call you lazy when you're sleeping past 12 p.m. Lucid dreaming research is also another area where, lucid dreaming is actually a section that's at the end of our REM sleep where we can actually consciously work on our dreams. And this is for a really short period of time. So imagine being the director of your own movie, but with an unlimited budget. How awesome would that be? And this is where it gets personal for me. As an intern at SciGlass.io, where we use VR to dive into brain modules, imagine a future where VR and neuroscience converge, not just to map the brain, but to decode and even record our dreams. Just imagine how much you can get out of recording your dreams and learning from them once you wake up. Or it would just be fun, to see what you're looking at. But you could also use it to learn. So all in all, dreams and nightmares tell us that our brain never stops working, even at night. We're still working to solidify our memory, work on our emotions, and just other things. We heal, we rehearse, and create while we're also asleep. So my challenge to you is that when you go to sleep and the next time you dream, don't dismiss it. Whether you're being chased by a giant flying dog, arguing with a dinosaur, or maybe just wandering through a strange world, wake up, write it, and then think about it and learn from it. Because our dreams tell us how imaginative and creative we really are, even if we're not. So thank you.